The mantra that science has disproven God's existence is repeated so often in one form or another, you would think it's chiseled into stone on some atheistic Mount Sinai somewhere. Or you would think the northern lights occasionally flicker the words, "There is no God," or "Matter is all there is." Now, in this video, we will show you why that statement, that mantra, as it's used in popular culture, is patently false. And to be fair, we will explain how an atheist could use the mantra correctly if he used it in the proper context. Hi, my name is Todd, and welcome to Mission Millennial Z Alpha Generations, where we share the other side of the creation story with today's youth. Now, fact number one, which disproves this mantra. Science does not say God does not exist. This is what's called a bare assertion. Now, atheist scientists may make this assertion, but to counter it, we could simply say just the opposite, right? Science proves God's existence. So just repeating the mantra, no matter how earnest, proves nothing. Now, an atheist out there might be saying to himself, well, when I use that mantra, I'm talking about scientific facts. But guess what? Scientific facts don't say that either, which brings me to fact number two, which disproves the mantra that we're dealing with in this video. Scientific facts don't say God does not exist. Facts established by the scientific method are cold, brute realities. Nothing more, nothing less. For example, water freezes at 32 degrees Fahrenheit. That is a scientific fact, a fact science gives us. The first law of thermodynamics states that matter cannot be created or destroyed. Now, are the words God does not exist found within that law? No. The second law of thermodynamics states the universe's usable energy is wearing down like a battery slowly going dead. Are the words God does not exist found within that law? No, of course not. So this is pretty simple, right? So, point number three. So if scientific facts neither prove nor disprove God's existence, what does? And this is the main point I'm trying to get to in this video. What does? Premise-based arguments based upon the scientific data either proves or disproves God's existence. Now, these premise-based arguments take the form of metaphysical arguments, I meant to say. That is, beyond physics, which is a branch of philosophy. Metaphysics is a branch of philosophy. So once you go beyond the scientific data, like the first and second law of thermodynamics, you go beyond that, you're going beyond physics. You're making philosophical arguments. So this is how I frame it in my debate. I have a debate that I posted on my YouTube channel. It's called the Theistic Debate Challenge. Now, I put this debate in a proposition form, and it goes like this. The Theistic Debate Challenge, and here's the proposition. Present scientific data points toward a supernatural creator being the best explanation for the origin of the universe and intelligent life. So what I'm arguing is the data points towards. So in a sense, with my wording, I'm following Richard Dawkins' steps, believe it or not, when he says, based on arguments he thinks are valid, scientific arguments he thinks are valid, he makes the proclamation that God almost certainly does not exist, right? So I'm using similar terminology, points towards. I could just as well say the scientific data, arguments based upon scientific data, proves or points towards God almost certainly existing. So the point is, we don't want to overstate the case, and we don't want to understate it either. And my basic point is there's compelling arguments for God's existence. Now, in my debate, which will be linked in the description, I give 4 arguments which I think are compelling arguments for a supernatural creator that prove, in the sense that I just defined, God's existence. Now, if the atheist uses that terminology in that context, then I don't have a problem with that mantra. So it all has to do with the contextual way you're using those words, prove. So let's look at those 4 arguments in closing and see what you think. Here are the 4 arguments that I go over in my debate, my 2,500 word debate. It's a 20-minute speech, and I do it live, and you can watch it. Here are the 4 arguments. 1, the nothing disproves naturalism argument for God's existence, which is an adaptation of the cosmological argument. 2, the fine-tuning argument for God's existence. 3, the DNA information origin of life argument for God's existence. 4, the a fortiori argument for God's existence. So I use scientific data, I cite data, and I make the arguments in that debate. So please watch it. So that's it. I hope you liked this video. If you do, hit the like button and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video. Thank you for listening. We appreciate it. Bye-bye.